You know, I was in Montreal in Quebec, and the provincial government over there decided to do a lockdown in Montreal, in Quebec City, and now we have that in Toronto also.
Yes.
But at the end, the most important, when you look at the coronavirus and COVID 19, other countries did better than our country, than Canada and then Ontario and Quebec, without any lockdown. And I think that's important to say that.
Yes.
I have in mind Sweden that did better, but the most important data that you must look at is the number of people, number of person in emergency room in hospital, and number of deaths. And that number is flat. You know, it's there's no peak over there. And what we're doing right now with the lockdowns, we are killing the economy, the small business owner.
I gotta drink some water for this one. All right. So you already know it's about that time, guys. We still have things to take care of. Canada, there's a lot of things going all over the world, but there are some things happening right here in Canada that I don't think many people are aware of, because again, with media, sometimes they only show one side of a story, so we're not always aware of everything. So today, actually, I had an opportunity, and I've been given this opportunity to speak with somebody who many of you may know, Mr. Maxime Bernier. He is now the leader of the People's Party, and how that even came to be is an amazing thing. He used to be with the Conservative Party, and he split with them in 2018. And since then, he's garnered a lot of attention. A lot of people support him, and it's for the things that he stands for. Today, I'm bringing him on, and we're going to be speaking about something that there's a lot of things, actually. I don't know if we're going to be able to cover him, because today he's actually campaigning as well. So how about I just bring him in, and let's just go at this. Maxime, how are you?
Fine, thank you very much. I'm very pleased to have that opportunity to be with you.
Thank you, thank you. And I know that you're leaving soon, so there's a couple things I really do want to talk to you about, because I want the community, the Caribbean community, to hear just your thoughts on certain things, because we've been sharing things about this lockdown and how it's affected the economy. How about we start there? When did this warning bell go off for you that something wasn't right with everything that was happening?
You know, I was in Montreal in Quebec, and the provincial government over there decided to do a lockdown in Montreal, in Quebec City, and now we have that in Toronto also.
Yes.
But at the end, the most important, when you look at the coronavirus and COVID 19, other countries did better than our country, than Canada and then Ontario and Quebec, without any lockdown. And I think that's important to say that.
Yes.
I have in mind Sweden that did better, but the most important data that you must look at, it's the number of people, number of person in emergency room in hospital, and number of deaths. And that number is flat. You know, it's there's no peak over there. And what we're doing right now with the lockdowns, we are killing the economy, the small business owner. I'm here right now in New York Center, and I'm doing door to door. I will go do door to door again this afternoon, and I'm meeting restaurant owners and small business owners, and they don't understand. And they're saying, you know, we don't want to have any subsidies from the government. We just want to be open. We just want to be able to open our doors to our clients. Mm-hmm. And the more lockdowns, it's killing the economy. But the most important, we must protect the older. And we can have a normal life by at the same time protecting the older. Mm-hmm. And that's the message. And I know that some expert, I'm not a medical expert, but some medical expert in the US, in Canada, are saying, you know, we are able now, we know a little bit more about that virus, and we know that the younger people are not so affected. When they're asymptomatic. So we know a little bit more concerning that virus, and that's why we don't need to have any lockdowns right now. And we're the only political party in this country to speak against that.
Yes.
Because now the Trudeau government and some provincial governments, decided to have more lockdowns. But at the same time, they're giving subsidies to some businesses, and we don't have the money for that. We have a huge deficit. The national credit card is full. So why giving subsidies? And these small businesses don't want subsidies. They want just to be reopened.
That's right.
And I think the common sense, and we must use our common sense there, and we're not.
It's true. Now, you did hint on a name that I want to bring back up to you. Trudeau. I read somewhere where you said that he's not really putting Canadians first. And can you talk a little bit more about that? Because we're talking about the lockdowns, but how else is he not putting Canadians first?
But there's a lot of example. Speaking by, first of all, foreign aid, we have a huge deficit, more than $350 billion. And he's still giving money to African countries to fight climate change. He's still doing money to China, in the Chinese Development Bank, to build roads in Africa. That's a lot of money. We need to bring back that in Canada. There's a lot of Canadians that needed that, and we must work for these people. But also at the same time, he wanted to buy a vote at the UN Security Council, and he spent a lot of money there. But that's our money, and that's why we need to work for Canadians first. And he's not doing that when he's spending money that we don't have to try for himself, just to try to have a seat at the UN Security Council. And at the end, there's more important things that we can do for Canadians. For example, he will increase taxes because of that at the next budget. Everybody knows that our taxes would go up. That's not working for Canadians. We need to have more of our own money in our own pockets. And that's why we are speaking for that. We are speaking for Canadian sovereignty. When the Trudeau government decided to sign the global migration compact with the UN, I think, and I said, we must have a moratorium on immigration, because we have a huge, right now, unemployment rate, about 13%. We are in a recession. We are in this coronavirus crisis. And that's why we need to have a moratorium for now on immigration, because, there's a lot of Canadians that don't have a job. And so that's our policies, is putting Canadian first. With that moratorium on immigration for now, with stopping the spending that the Trudeau government is doing. So that's what I'm saying. If you want a political party or a politician that will have policies that are fair for everybody, and we don't do any pandering or identity politics. For me, you are a Canadian, and we are working for Canadians, and that's important. I know I spoke with some people here in the riding, and I think it was 2 days ago, and a lady said, I'm a Chinese Canadian, and I'm very proud of my Chinese origin. I said, that's okay. But for me, you're a Canadian, and that's important. And I don't want to try to pander to every special interest group. And she understood that. She said, yes, I appreciate that for you. That's a different way of doing politics, but the Conservatives, the Liberals are doing identity politics, and we're not playing that game.
So overall, because I know you have to leave us soon, how do we, people, how do we do more to fight what's happening with these lockdowns? How do businesses speak up? What would you suggest to some of these small business owners?
But first, I'm suggesting them to go on social media, to be active on social media, to go on my Twitter account, on my YouTube channel, People's Party of Canada /official. They can retweet my tweet about that. And also, if there's a protest somewhere in your municipality, don't hesitate to go there. And so speak to your friends, speak to your family about that. That's the beginning. And I think the more people will be aware of that, the more it will put pressure on the governments, the federal one, the provincial one, to stop these lockdowns. So I'm asking you, be active, speak with your friends, with your colleagues, retweet, go on social media, look at people who are saying what you believe in, retweet that. That's important. And I can tell you that I'm doing that. And the more people on our side. When I started to speak against lockdowns, I didn't have the support that I have right now,
Right.
and it's growing, and it's because of you. So my message for them is: don't hesitate to speak and say what you want, and be out there. And that's the beginning. And I think at the end, I'm pretty optimistic that we'll be able to convince these governments to stop that. But yeah, I'm going to do door to door right now in my riding. So I hope I will have another opportunity to be with you next week before the election, the by-election here in New York Center.
If you have time, we will make the time. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Have a good day, Maxime. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.